In this video, we're going to talk about Qwen 2.5, a multiple different models released by the Alibaba Group. And this is interesting because there has been a lot of reviews about Qwen 2, the previous version, and they've actually performed really well, even outperforming Llama 3 models. Now, I don't want to waste your guys' time. Qwen 2.5, the new updates, is about Qwen 2.5 model, Qwen 2.5 coder, and Qwen 2.5 math, with different model sizes all the way from 0.5 to 72 billion parameter models. Not only are they outperforming all the other open source models currently, but they have released 12 different versions of these models. They've been pre-trained with 18 trillion tokens for, as they're saying, superior knowledge and performance. And it tends to have an improved metrics on coding, math, multilingual support, and long text generations. There's been various advancements in instruction following, JSON generation, and structured data comprehension. This, of course, is an open source models, so you should be able to use it with no cost. By the way, I make similar videos like these on LLMs, machine learning, and other data science tools, so please feel free to subscribe. Now, this video will be broken down into 4 main sections. We're going to talk about what's special about these models, the different types of models that are available and different sizes. We're going to talk about the performances and what can you do with it. Now, these are the different models that have been introduced by them. There are 12 different models, as I already mentioned, from ranging 0.5 billion parameters all the way to 72 billion parameter models with different configurations, as you can see on the screen over here. And according to them, they support various languages with various chains of thought, programmer thought, and tool integrated reasoning. Now, here's the performances of 2.572 billion Instruct compared to the other Instruct models. Instruct models, if you guys didn't remember, is a fine-tuned version of the base models. Now, they've also shown to have superior performance on the base models as well, if in case you guys are wondering. And personally, me, among many other people, tends to really like this Qwen 2.2 models because they actually are quite good at what they do, even compared to like the popular models like Llama 3. Llama 3 models, even though I make a lot of videos about them, but in reality, Qwen 2 models usually outperform and perform better in general in various downstream tasks. What's actually even better is that you don't need to really deploy this model anymore because they have something called a Qwen Plus, which is an API version of the Qwen models. And even that shows to be quite well performing compared to the other models, which is very nice. Here is Qwen 2.532 billion, which is half the size, and is still outperforming other models that are much more bigger. Now here is the MLU benchmark. Now, we can see that the general trend from these various companies where they're going from larger models to the smaller models, but still having a competitive score in various benchmarks. And that makes me really happy because the smaller models are way more easily deployable and easy to use. By the way, I just want to quickly mention that in the description, there is a link for AI consulting. This is a one-on-one meeting with me where you can book a call discussing your personal projects, or if you're a company trying to build a proof of concept, you can just grab a time over here and we can talk about it. I can help with ideation and planning, feasibility assessment, and at the end of the call, we can get a report detailing the different steps you could potentially take to improve or make your system. So please feel free to check it out. Not only did they introduce text models, but they also introduced coding models. So they also trained the coding models using various configurations in terms of parameters, and they're also outperforming, which is nice to see. Here, they have also trained another variant of Qwen 2.5 with math corpus, and this, of course, is also outperforming all the other open source models. Now, again, please take these types of metrics with a grain of salt because you don't really know how they work in a real domain or your domain or use case. But so far, the trend is looking quite positive when it comes to the small language models, but also having high performant models that can be used. Now, how can you use them? What can you do with it? Now, the obvious answer would be generation. You can do generative tasks with it, like using RAG pipelines and different things. And when it comes to embeddings, you can get the embeddings from the model using old Llama. That's the simplest way to get it, as far as I know. Or even a Hugging Face, if you have to do some hacking. But other than that, you can also convert this model into an embeddings model by converting the causal model to have a more self-attentive model. Now, I've made a video about how to convert Llama 3 model or Llama 3.1 model into an embeddings model before, so the procedure should be very similar. But nevertheless, for most cases, most people will probably use it for a generative task, which works extremely well, as it's shown in the metrics. Now, they've provided the code for how to make inferences on it, but also how to deploy it using VLMs, so that's very nice of them. And you can also do tool calling using Llama tool calling or GPT tool calling. You should be able to use it with no problem. Alright guys, so that is a quick run through of Qwen 2.5, a new family of models that you can use for your domain task. Hope you found this video insightful. If you guys did, please feel free to subscribe. I'm also going to be making fine-tuning videos about these models, so make sure you guys subscribe. Alright guys, have a nice day.